Hey guys, what's up? Brendan here. So today we got a video of Braydon's PR 285 clean. And before we get into it, I just want to say that this is a pretty outstanding lift to watch. Braydon's such a strong guy, so we're gonna go over a few things we see in this video here, and just a few things that he could have done differently. And from what I think, if he can focus on doing these things in the future here, we could probably see a 300-pound clean, in the near future. So anyway, right off the bat here, he starts in a pretty good setup position. I don't mind that, other than his hands being open, but he'll close them once he gets started. The first thing that happens off the ground, watch his hips and his butt pretty much. First thing that happens, they come up. See, this starting position is pretty good. I like the back angle here, and the chest is up. But as soon as he comes off the ground, those hips come up, which forces him into his toes, ever so slightly. So right now, we're a little bit forward. Now, for Braydon, not a huge deal because he's just naturally so strong. As soon as he passes the knees here, he does a better job of bringing it back. See, this is a better position here. He's more on his heels, still over top the bar, but the back position is much better. So he actually sorts it out on the way up. So not bad at all. Gets over the knees. Now, obviously this is really heavy because watch this. He explodes, but it's just kind of straight up. So now this is a big problem, especially when the weight gets heavier, because if we don't finish that second pull and get back enough and keep the bar tight to us, the bar is going to want to stay out front and do a couple things. Could send us on our toes early. We could lose power early, obviously, and that could result in a mislift or, a lift having to be a lot more tougher than it should be. So in Braydon's case here, he gets a pretty decent finish, but he's pretty much vertical, and I wouldn't mind if his shoulders were back just a little bit more, and he would finish just a little bit more. But like I said, this is 285. It was pretty heavy, and he just wanted to get it over with. So comes through, and he's got some pretty good speed under the bar, as we'll see when we watch the video at full speed. But I just want to point out that when he comes through here and pops under the bar only comes up to maybe his waist. And that's all he needs. Pops it up to about his waist, and he gets under there, and the receiving position for height, so where the bar is when he receives it, right about here, in my eyes, is perfect. Because when you receive a bar, you don't want to receive it directly in the bottom, because that will just crush you, and I'm sure we've all been there. We've caught a bar directly in the bottom of the squat, and we just feel like we have no momentum. So, in my eyes, receiving this bar just above parallel and riding it down into that little bit of a bounce does help to come back up. Now, this is what I'm talking about for that finish position. If we look at him, his knees are really forward. The weight isn't necessarily in his toes, but it's definitely a lot more forward than it should be. So, as a result of him finishing more vertical and not back enough, the bar is popping out forward a little bit and making his receiving position in the bottom here a little bit forward. So what's tough about that is as soon as he gets up, his hips fire back to where they would, where they would be a little bit more in position if you would have caught it back a bit more. And the chest comes down, the elbows start coming down, and this turns into a grind. And we'll see on the full speed video. But he stands it up and finishes it clean. Not bad. So a few things to take away from this before we watch it full speed. Just coming off the ground, practicing keeping that good back angle, bringing the bar back off the ground, and not letting it bring you into your toes right off the bat, because obviously you know it's heavy, but we got to keep that back nice and straight and bring the whole body up as a unit. Fire back into those heels, and when we get up to our power position there to finish, make sure we finish and not just straight up and early, but make sure we get up to that power position, position one, and get those shoulders up and back, not to not to fire the bar up higher, but to keep it tighter to us in it, which makes a more smoother transfer under the bar when we catch it, and dictates a better position in that bottom position as well. So we'll watch the lift full speed here, and it'll be good. What a grind. Who knew a big guy like that can move so fast? All right, thanks, guys.